Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight.
Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands gives an update on TB in public schools.
Monsignor Moss is laid to rest.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. 5 more senior officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force have been instructed to take more than a year of accrued vacation leave. The shakeup comes after 3 other senior officers were directed to take vacation leave just 2 weeks ago. Jared Higgs reports.
2 weeks ago, 3 senior officers were given directives to take accrued vacation. Well, today, 5 senior officers had the same fate met out to them. Assistant Commissioners of Police Clayton Fernander, Kendall Strawn, Ashton Greenslade, Theophilus Cunningham, and Lehman Delaveau all reportedly received letters on Thursday directing them to take vacation leave as of Monday, pending retirement. The 5 men are said to have over a year in accrued vacation each, despite a policy that allows public servants to accrue a maximum of 15 weeks of vacation.
This is something that we have allowed, and not we, but successive governments have allowed to really run amok for many years, because I could recall when I was in the police force, I was one of those officers as well.
This latest batch of senior officers to be placed on leave means that the only remaining assistant commissioners of police are Paul Roll, who heads the anti-corruption unit, Albert Ferguson, Samuel Butler, and Ismella Davis Delancey. It is still unclear who will be the new deputy commissioner. Minister of National Security Marvin Dames told reporters on Thursday afternoon that he met with the executive teams of the Royal Bahamas Police and Defense Forces, explaining to them that those with accrued vacation would be forced to take their leave.
We're at a point now throughout the service. We have this significant accumulation of leave, and it puts the government in a very difficult place when it comes to retirement, because people are looking, you're going to pay me out in large sum.
The 5 men joined Deputy Commissioner Emric Seymour, Senior Assistant Commissioner Stephen Dean, and Assistant Commissioner Clarence Reckley, who were also asked to take many weeks of accumulated vacation and are also expected to retire at the end of their leave. At least 2 of the officers this go around are said to be shocked by the move.
I'm not going to get into any personal thing because I think it's unfair. Only to say this, that I would have met with both the commissioner and his executive team, the Commodore and his executive team, and we had a very cordial, very open meeting.
After news broke of Dean, Seymour, and Reckley's leave 2 weeks ago, Dames defended the decision from allegations that the move was political. He says the move is all about succession planning and that more officers, including Defense Force officers, would meet the same fate.
These agencies are bigger than any one individual, and so you said 5, but there will be more.
Dames was bombarded with questions from reporters, curious to know whether the exit of 8 senior officers in less than a month would result in instability on the force. Asked when replacements would be appointed, Dames said,
let's not say replacement. If someone goes on leave, okay, then someone acts in their position. If someone retires, then someone fills the position.
And what about morale in the organization?
We have an agency and the morale is very strong. And the morale hasn't been stronger.
With officers also made to begin their leave on Monday, Dames was also asked why such short notice.
As I said, I would have met with the officers in both departments, and from both of those meetings, I felt that we all left on good accord.
When asked which of the men would be made to retire at the end of their leave periods, Dames said,
those who are at that age, either by age or by years.
The retirement age for police officers is either 60 years old or 40 years of service. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
The Bahamas government responding to a Chinese official who lashed the U.S. over a statement released by the Office of the White House Press Secretary, which accused China of predatory economic practices. The statement comes just ahead of a meeting U.S. President Donald Trump has scheduled with Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis and leaders of 4 other Caribbean nations. But a former Foreign Affairs Minister is urging the Minnis administration to stay out of big people's conversations.
I don't think it's a matter which we should engage in. It does not directly impact us, and we really ought to stay out of it.
Former Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell urging the Minnis administration to stay out of the ongoing trade war between the United States and the People's Republic of China. On Wednesday, China's charge d'affaires Han Yin hit back at the U.S. after the office of the White House press secretary released this statement announcing the meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and the leaders of 5 Caribbean nations, including the Bahamas. It read, "The president looks forward to working with countries in the region to strengthen our security cooperation and counter China's economic predatory practices." Well, that obviously didn't sit well with the Chinese embassy official who asserted, "The accusations of predatory economic practices are completely baseless, unreasonable, and contradictory to the facts." Mitchell, who has served as Minister of Foreign Affairs twice, said this is a battle the Bahamas needs to stay out of, as it is a friend to both nations.
The best we can do, I think, at a meeting such as this is to give a listening ear and then do what's best for our country, which is to stay out of this kinds of things. We are friends with every country. We're at war with no one. We have no enemies, and we don't want to make any enemies.
Foreign Affairs Minister Darren Henfield dodged media questions on the matter today, but his ministry released this vague statement saying, "The Bahamas enjoys long-standing and excellent diplomatic and trade relations with both the United States and the People's Republic of China." The Bahamas has been the recipient of generous gifts from both the U.S. and China, and in his statement, the Chinese embassy official didn't hesitate to remind them, saying, "Take the Bahamas as an example. Our bilateral cooperation has been very fruitful. The Thomas Robinson Stadium is a grand project from China, which is now being used to host international and regional sports events. The airport gateway has been built using concessional loans from China. The Bahama Resort has been completed and created over 5,000 jobs for Bahamians and contributed substantially to the economy of the Bahamas." While in the meeting, Trump is expected to thank the 5 Caribbean leaders for supporting the U.S.'s stance in recognizing Venezuela's opposition leader as the president of that country. But as far as staying out of the business of 2 big countries like China and the U.S., Mitchell says he only has so much confidence in the Bahamian delegation.
No, I'm talking about the technical staff. The political people are lost, absolutely lost in space. I mean, they can't even stand up for Bahamians anywhere. I've never seen such an obsequious group who just don't seem to know what the Bahamian interests are.
Well, nearly 2 weeks after health officials confirmed 2 cases of tuberculosis on New Providence, Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands revealed that an additional 20 students and staffers at Government High School and A.F. Adley Junior High School have positive TB skin tests. With more on this, here's Jasmine Brown.
Dr. Sands revealed that the number of positive skin tests in those 2 schools have increased significantly in the last few weeks.
That process now at both of those schools has been completed, and we have approximately 20 individuals who now have positive tuberculin skin tests.
Dr. Sands' confirmation of those positive Mantoux skin tests for tuberculosis comes 13 days after health officials confirmed 2 cases of TB at both public high schools on March 8th. Sands says those with positive skin tests are currently being monitored for active signs of TB.
The only people who would need to be out of school are people that have signs, symptoms of active tuberculosis. So the patients who started this process had active tuberculosis. Once treated for 14 days with RIPE, then they would go back into school, go back into church, go back into their community.
Tuberculosis is an infectious disease of the lungs which is spread through the air from one person to another. The symptoms of TB include a bad cough lasting 3 weeks or longer, chest pain, coughing up blood or phlegm from deep inside the lungs, weakness or fatigue, weight loss, no appetite, chills, fever, and sweating all night. In November 2017, Sands revealed that there were 4 confirmed cases of active TB on Eleuthera and 380 confirmed cases of people with positive Mantoux skin tests for tuberculosis on that island. There has also been 1 reported TB death in the Bahamas so far this year. Earlier this month, a South African woman who worked on a cruise ship died from TB in New Providence. When asked if there was any concern with regard to the more recent cases, Sands said this:
"We are getting better and better and better. And so there is no need for panic. Understand that the reason that public health exists is to do the types of things to educate, to screen, to track down, to treat persons with communicable and non-communicable diseases. And I don't think that the public has to worry.
Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
All right, thanks, Jasmine. Monsignor Preston Moss was laid to rest today, bringing together leaders of church and state for a somber service. As he paid tribute to Moss, Archbishop Patrick Pinder said honesty, respect for life, and self-discipline are all values Moss possessed. Jillian Gray reports.
It was a packed house at St. Francis Xavier as hundreds gathered. Monsignor Moss served the Catholic diocese for 54 years. It was a title bestowed upon him in 1973 by Pope John Paul VI for his service to the Church. It was a solemn service as friends, family, and members of Parliament came together to pay their respects. Archbishop the Most Reverend Patrick Pinder said he was grateful for the support and advice provided by Moss, whom he described as his closest cohort. He shared a fond memory from 1972.
Father Moss is a very particular man. He liked to have things done the right way. Well, I learned to take delight in purposely doing things the wrong way, even though he would get angry. His anger lasted but an instant. It never got the better of it. He had a peace of mind and heart. He had an equanimity of spirit that I've rarely seen in anyone.
Pinder also used the opportunity to charge attendees to live positively as a way to contribute to the country.
We live in a democracy. But a democracy is not merely a machine we can set on automatic and expect to work properly. No. A democracy is a community of persons. And for it to work well, for it to flourish, requires that its citizens live certain values all the time.
He added that the life of Moss was filled with lessons that everyone should follow.
As we gather to honor our noble brother today, with burial, let this occasion call us back to our spiritual roots, our spiritual core. We honor him best by following his example.
Moss died at his Lakeview Drive home earlier this month following ongoing treatment for stomach cancer. He was 79. Reporting for our news, I'm Jillian Gray.
On Monday, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis will deliver his second report to the nation since taking office in May 2017. According to the Office of the Prime Minister, Minnis will highlight government's comprehensive strategy to combat crime through enhanced policing, the criminal justice system, the mobilization of cutting-edge technology, and reducing the rate of reoffending. The report will also provide an overview of plans to transform learning and is said to be part of government's commitment to provide timely, accurate, clear, and complete information about its initiatives to the public. The Prime Minister's address airs at 8 p.m. on Monday, right here on RTV. Still to come, the revised breadbasket list ready for cabinet consideration. Stay tuned.